wet rag. We're gonna put something on here to cool this compressor down. Compressor's running, but it's super hot. No, that's good. Wet it good and bring it. All right. So, if you can, you have any cold water?
Yeah.
Just pour a little bit of cold water in this pan, and hopefully we can cool this thing down. Up top, yeah.
What does it say? What's it on?
No, it's on. So.
That's all? It just says on?
Yeah, it's at probably 8 or so. Yeah, you're at 6, which is fine. That wouldn't, unless you had.
In the freezer? Or
No,
is that
so.
the temperature you want it to be?
So yeah, that's where your temperature. You want to be around there. So you have like normal coldest, which is around 7.
I've never even seen that.
Off. So off at 1 or 2 would be pretty warm almost. The compressor wouldn't run much. So you want to have it usually around, 4 is good, right there in the middle.
Is it on what you want it to be on?
Yeah, but that's not the issue. So we probably have a lot of frosting back here, or we have a lack of refrigerant. So we're gonna open up. We have screws up top. We're gonna remove, and then 2 here, and then we're gonna take a look.
Is the shelf empty? Stuff no more.
Right.
I'm really surprised at that.
Yeah. Well, the brain is adjusting itself to how you're supposed to eat, which is great. I'm sure you feel better.
You really encouraged me.
Oh, I'm glad. I'm very happy. All right. No, I wish it was. I wish it was.
Yeah.
So you see how that looks? That basically, all this should be frosty.
Yeah.
And
right. Because years ago the commercial.
you see this?
I know from the commercial stuff in the restaurant.
Right. You see that?
Cover it. Yeah.
We call that a ball of death, because
It's there and it should be on the other side.
it should be all
Across.
and all you have is just one. I'm gonna plug it back in. I want to see
Okay.
if it moves, but
Yeah, I'm familiar with
so
the
far,
look
yeah.
because of the restaurants.
Right.
They give you the show.
Now, if it's a sealed system, I won't even bother. It's not worth it. Only mechanical stuff. Given the age, it's not worth even the repair.
What do you think? How old is it?
This is probably maybe 13, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got a date here on this. 09.
09.
Yeah. 09.
We called it.
Yeah. So it's got some. So yeah. So the
50 years old.
yeah. So the refrigerant has to flow all the way through.
Back and forth, right?
Yeah. And that's how it removes the heat. And it's not doing it. You have a ball of death. That's where it's at. It's been running. Compressor's running longer than normal because it's trying to bring the heat out, and it's not able to do that. Your fan is running, which is normal. Your thermostat is working, otherwise your compressor would not be running. That right there is your thermostat. It works with your heater down there. So everything is working other than the flow of refrigerant is not flowing. So basically a new...
You have time to get one over?
All right, so we're going to start in the back. Now this is the back area. This is the freezer section in the back of the freezer. This is the compressor area, and this is your start device. This runs the compressor. So if you go in the garage, wherever your freezer is, you notice that the temperature in the freezer is not good, meaning it's either warm or it's not at temperature. Now, 2 different things to look at. Let's say, for example, the freezer is totally thawed, right? Totally, everything's basically done. You would want to start at the timer, which is here, and you would turn this clockwise, and you hear a click. Right now, the unit isn't run. Hear that? It just went into defrost, and now it's back into run. Run is going to be long. It's going to click soon. That's defrost. And that's pretty short, maybe 10, 15 minutes. Click again. All right. So you would turn that and see if this comes on. It should come on. And if it does come on and you hear a click, maybe every minute and a half, you hear a click, you would want to check this, which is your start device. You can also check for voltage coming in here. You would put your meter leads, one there and one there. You should get 120 volts. Now, let me preface this. 120 volts, 115 volts, something 110. Normally it's 120. That's how we normally call it, but it could be a little less in voltage. So don't be alarmed if you get 115, 118, 119. Okay, so that will cover if your fridge is not turning on or not cooling. Now let's go inside and check the timer. Sorry, let's go inside and check the thermostat. A bad thermostat will stop your timer from getting power, because one of these leads, they actually go inside and comes back around, and then this sends power to your compressor. Now, let's say you touch your compressor and it's super hot, like you see in the video, like 150. That's way too hot. So that could mean you have either a sealed system, or you could have a defrost issue. A defrost issue would mean the fridge is running longer and longer, trying to reach temperature, but it's not able to, so the compressor is getting hotter and hotter. So that would tell you that you do have a problem. So we're going to go inside and we're going to check the evaporator, and I'll explain to you how it should look. All right, so this is your fan. So if you notice your fan is running, that's good. Don't worry about the fan. All the fan does, it pulls warm air from the food, brings it across this coil, cools it off. Literally. This is your bimetal, or you may call it a thermostat, and this works with your heater and your timer. So in case there's a problem with your bimetal, your timer will literally turn power off, and this also turns off the heater when the temperature gets too warm. So if you have a defrost issue, you would want to make sure this is checked, and this one lead would go to the heater, which is under here, and the other up there. So if you want to check your timer, you would disconnect this. Okay, this unit is no good. And you'd put your meter lead, one there and one there. Once the unit is plugged in and is in run, you should get 120 volts. It has to be now in defrost, because you're checking power coming from the timer going to these wires. You also need to check this. Now, the way to check this, make sure the unit is cold, and you should get continuity when the unit is cold, meaning power is going from point A to point B. Boom. Now, once you've checked that, if this is not good when it's cold, you would replace that. This would have to be replaced. I'm actually going to take this out. Now, if you check this and you're getting continuity when it's cold, and you're still freezing up here, then you want to check the heater. And the heater, you should get continuity. You stick your leads in there, and you should have, forgot the ohms, but it doesn't matter. If you get continuity, then you are good. And also check along the edge where they meet. Make sure nothing is shorted or broken. I've seen them where they actually get damaged, and this would cause you to trip the breaker and So this is your thermostat. If you have a bad thermostat, you could have a situation to where your freezer will not turn on. So you can check for continuity on that lead and that lead, and you should get a beep when this is turned on or off. Pretty straightforward, guys. And if you're not getting continuity, you can get a small piece of wire, remove that, and you jump them, and the unit should turn on 100%. All right. And if you have to change this, I will leave a link for this, for the heater, the bimetal, even the fan. We'll leave a link for that as well. And to change that, you remove that, and then it screws right there. And don't bend this. If you have to bend it, be gentle. Don't kink it, otherwise you'll damage it. All right. And this is your evaporator. Now, if you notice the unit is running and you're not reaching temperature, you'd remove the cover. There's screws up top, screws at the bottom, and one screw there and one over there. If you remove this cover and you just notice a little bit of ice right here and the unit's been running for a while, then you'll have a sealed system. A sealed system failure could either be a leak or a restriction somewhere along, or it could be a weak compressor as well. It would be time to go shopping. So hopefully this helps, and yeah, if you do have a fan and it's frozen, you want to make sure you get everything out of the fan area so it doesn't damage the fan. All right, guys, I think that covers that. Thanks for watching.